This podcast is brought to you by PodPro Australia.
Social media, Google, email marketing, systems, website traffic, and the endless content creation that comes with marketing. It's overwhelming, right? Say goodbye to endless stress and hello to clarity with the Meaningful Marketing Podcast. In this podcast, I will share with you fast and free practical methods to help you manage, monetize, and market your business, all infused with a healthy dose of motivation. Let's do this. Hey, welcome to the Philippines. This is Chantal Girardi, and this is another episode of the Meaningful Marketing Podcast. Today, I am with guest Adam Bell, who's going to be leading in a discussion around ChatGPT and how we can utilize it in your marketing to make it more meaningful. Welcome, Adam Bell.
Thank you. What a great place to be to do the podcast.
Phenomenal place. Hopefully you can hear the water crashing in the background and we don't get interrupted. So Adam, I always like to start the podcast by asking or saying that your business is not about what you do that's the same as everyone else. It's what you do that's different. So could you tell us a little bit about yourself and your business and how you got into ChatGPT and training?
Yeah, sure. Look, as you know, and I'm not sure whether most of your listeners know, my business is actually podcasting. I produce this great podcast, the Meaningful Marketing Podcast for Chantal. So that is my main business. But look, that's what led me into learning about ChatGPT, and that is what I do differently. I think, that most business owners out there know now what it is and use it to only a tiny inch of what it can be. Through learning with a different business partner of mine, I got into really delving into it deeply and now understand its power. And I'm going to put it on record to say it is the most powerful business tool out there right now when you know how to use it and how to work it.
Yeah, 100%. One of the things that I'm constantly telling people is that you have to put the HI into the AI. And what that HI is human intelligence, meaning that you still got to put your marketing strategy into it. You've got to put your demographic into it. The output is only going to be as good as the input that you put into it. So if you don't know who your target audience is, if you don't know who you're talking to, if you don't know what your value proposition is, if you don't know what you're actually selling, if you don't know how to effectively communicate to the business owner, when you actually chat to ChatGPT, it's going to spit out cookie cutter fluffy content, which is not going to cut through. Because let's be honest, lots of people are using ChatGPT out there, but those who use it well are they're going to stand out online. They're the ones who are going to get the customers. They're the ones who are going to get real results.
Let me talk you through what I see as the most common journey of a business owner finding ChatGPT. So they find it and think it's the most amazing thing they start to play with it. They put a few things in, put very short, simple prompts in, and suddenly see this tool that can spit out something that's like a human. That's what it is. It's artificial intelligence. And they're amazed by it. And it becomes a little toy where they put in, as I said, short, simple little prompts. However, what that actually then gives you, the result, is actually not that great. And already, even in these early years of ChatGPT, people are able to smell ChatGPT when it comes out. Now, the real secret to getting unbelievable results out of ChatGPT is to actually talk to it like a human and treat it like a human. So they might go through that and then see it as a toy and start putting it in, and then realizing after a month or two, then actually not, that might get an email that they play with, but once you really start to decide on what you want to achieve with it, it can achieve anything. I'm absolutely telling you, it can achieve anything you want to work out in your business. You've just got to spend time. So what we generally say is this: if you spend a minute talking with ChatGPT, you'll save 5 minutes. If you spend 5 minutes chatting with GPT, you'll save an hour. You spend an hour with ChatGPT, it'll save you a day. You spend a day with ChatGPT, and it will save you a week or 2 weeks. But you've got to continually talk to it, and there's a number of different tricks to doing that.
Awesome, and I'd love to get into that shortly. I'd just like to add to that is that I think sometimes people get so excited by the fact that it spits out content and so quickly that they just go, right, quick fix. So they don't respect the platform, they don't respect their business, they don't respect their audience, which is something that I talk about all the time. So they just go, write me an email, as opposed to write me an email. These are the people. This is what they're struggling with. This is what I'm trying to sell to them. This is the outcome that I want. This is the tone that I want to use. And when they do that, when they're looking for that quick fix, like you said earlier, people absolutely smell it. And I know something, especially with my virtual assistants who use ChatGPT, and when I do training with virtual assistants, I say to them, ChatGPT is a tool, but when you spit out content, it needs to respect the audience, respect the business, respect the brand, and it cannot smell of ChatGPT. And we've all heard, what are some of the ones that we hear all the time? Marketing efforts, digital landscape.
Dive deep.
Dive deep.
We're going to dive deep.
Unlock your potential. Transformative results. I mean, there's just a whole bunch of stuff which is kind of cookie cutter and fluffy, and people can spit it out. I know that when ChatGPT first came out, I received because I love coffee and good coffee, and I got all these emails because I subscribed to all these companies, and I could see that they were all using ChatGPT. It was almost like they'd gone to a training in it, used ChatGPT, or perhaps had a shared virtual assistant, and everyone had the same email that came through. And I was like, how am I going to which coffee company I'm going to use? Because every single one communicated in the same way. So nobody stood out for me. And I didn't want to utilize any of them because they disrespected the brand, they disrespected me, and I could smell it ages away. So let's get into, how do we make ChatGPT more meaningful in your marketing?
Well, look, this is why we created the workshop that we now do with business owners in order to teach them how to use it. There's a lot of, what I call presentations out there, where people wow you with what ChatGPT can do. There's not many people out there teaching you how to use it, which is why we put our workshop together and using it practically in your business. So the secret is actually this, to actually talk with it and picture it like you've got a new employee. Here's how it works. It's an employee. Now, if you were getting an employee, let's just talk about writing an email. To write an email to a client, you wouldn't just say, can you write this email to this client that says this? You'd say, this client is, I know the business owner is a bit empathetic, so could you make it a bit more empathetic? They do this, our relationship with them has been this, so therefore the outcome and message I want this email to convey is this. Now there's a 2-minute prompt instead of a 10-second prompt, and you watch what you get out of that. Now expand that out. You can do a marketing plan. You can say, look, I'm a digital marketer and I want a marketing plan for my business. And guess what? It will spit out something that on day 1 when you're using it, you go, wow. On day 30 of it, you're using it, it's going, okay, that's the bare bones. But again, if you then go in and say, I'm a digital marketing agent, these are my customers, have a look at here's the link to my website. And what I'm trying to actually achieve with this particular marketing plan is this. Now, here's another key. You always say, before you answer, do you understand? Would you not say that to, if you were getting your new marketing manager to write your marketing, do you understand? Okay. Can you repeat back to me what you think I want you to do? That's another huge tip. Huge tip. Again, ask it questions. Before you go and create this marketing plan, do you have any questions for me, or would you like any more information that would give you the opportunity to make this the best of your ability? And quite often it will say yes. Now I'm going to give you the next level tip on this. When it does ask you questions, you can go and ask it to find the answers. Here's the next level, which I won't get too much into. It's turning it on itself, asking it the questions and getting it to answer. Once you get the understanding of that, that's when the magic actually really happens.
And I know people freak out because they go, well, Chantel, do you have a job then as a marketing strategist? And I go, hell yeah, more now than ever. Because at the end of the day, if you don't have, put the HR, the human intelligence, if you don't have the human intelligence to be able to answer those questions, and if it asks you questions and you can't answer those questions, or if it is answering questions and you are unsure if that is the right answer or not, then that's an issue. Because at the end of the day, even if it spits out a plan for you, you have got to have the intellect and the understanding to know, is this going to work? Is this true to me and my business? Because it is AI. Is it true to me and my business? What else can I do to perfect this? Am I going to be able to action this? Do I fully understand what this means? Or are you just going to take it on board and not test, not review, not measure it, not question it, and just run with it? Because I would say that would be irresponsible to do. So you've still got to put that human intelligence into it. You've still got to test it. You've still got to measure it. You've still got to make sure that you're applying it in the right way, and you've got to constantly keep training it. So I love all those tips that you gave us.
And a good point there too is, look, what we always say to our workshops is that, look, AI isn't going to replace humans. Businesses with AI are going to replace businesses without, and early adoption is the key. But what I do want to make a point of, in giving that example about making a marketing plan, I'm talking to a marketing expert, this isn't going to replace marketing companies, but because guess what? We go and get contractors in to do stuff for our businesses that we don't know, that we don't understand. You've got a business, you get Chantel in to do your marketing because you don't know marketing. You don't know the social media strategy. So guess what? Yes, ChatGPT can give that to you. However, what I'd much prefer and what I teach my clients is, with things like that, you can still get your experts in and maybe even give them a plan or a blueprint from ChatGPT and say, this has got what's got me excited. Can you do that? Or the opposite, get them to do everything for you and then get ChatGPT to check it and give you their opinion. Now, suddenly, we've never been able to test our contractors out because it's something we don't know. We believe them. It sounds great. And 99% of the time, it's going to be absolutely phenomenal. That's what we pay them for. But we've never been able to absolutely know. You can now go to ChatGPT and say, here's what my marketer has given me. Give me your opinion. What are the pros, cons, and questions I should be asking them about what they're about to deliver to me that I'm paying $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 for? Never had the ability to do that. We go, sounds great. I don't know how they do this, but look, so there are so many things you can do with this, and that's what we're teaching our clients now.
Yeah, well, look, 100%. We get so many people coming into us, and either a couple of things. Either they don't have a marketing strategy, so we'll work with them on the marketing strategy, and then often they'll say to us, okay, now can you teach our virtual assistants or the business owners to be able to use ChatGPT better to be able to create their content, or be able to train the ChatGPT in order to be able to implement it. So there's still a level of management, there's still a level of consultancy and coaching that needs to happen, but such a phenomenal tool, because before it used to take days, hours, weeks in order to be able to do it. Now we can get it a lot quicker, but the responsibility of the business owner and the people using ChatGPT is to still talk to it correctly, decipher what it's saying and understand it yourself, I think is important, be able to implement and action it, and like you said, put it on its head. And like anything, an opinion is an opinion, right? So if you got an opinion from someone, you would still have to use your human intelligence as to, is this authentic to me? Is this relevant to me? And then go and take from that opinion what you want.
Absolutely. And I've said it before, but I'll say it again. My biggest tip with ChatGPT for anyone using it is start to think of it like you're training an employee. You would not give your employee tiny little bit of information and expect that employee to give you a fantastic result. So that's the biggest thing, because that's what people suddenly think when they first come across it. So look, early adoption here is the key. I'm going to throw out something now that I hope your listeners listen to and remember in 10 years' time. I'm telling you, AI is going to be bigger than the internet itself. And you've got to jump on board now, whether you're using ChatGPT, not at all, a little bit, or even just a bit more than a little bit. I'm a podcast and I'm using it over 6 hours a day, because once you understand its power, you can use it for everything. So, and which is what I'm now passionate about teaching other business owners, because it's not the greatest business model. When they get what I teach them, they don't need any more training. There's no one thing that I can then sell them to that. Once you get it, it actually does it itself. Our training is built on ChatGPT. I shouldn't actually be saying that. Let something go off in your head to understand the power of this.
But it's still just a tool, right? At the end of the
is.
day, it's a tool. And I remember when Facebook first came out, everyone said Facebook wasn't going to last. And now look at it. And they've bought so many other social media giants. So at the end of the day, I think, like you said, early adoption is key. You mentioned something about virtual assistants. You wouldn't give something to a virtual assistant and just ask them to do it without giving them the information. I can tell you right now that there are so many businesses that are doing that. And then they are hiring, firing, and rehiring virtual assistants, saying that they're non-performing, when really the business owner hasn't put the time, the energy, and the effort into delivering an actual marketing strategy and plan to the virtual assistant. So just as you would do that for this, it's the same with ChatGPT. You've got to spend some time with them, training them on how to do this.
Absolutely. It's the best business tool out there for $30 a month. And if you're not using it, you need to be, and be as quickly as you can.
So thank you so much, Adam Bell. So could you tell us a little bit about the workshop that you run?
Yeah, sure. So we run workshops for business owners. We even can go into somebody's business and train their entire leadership team, or their team together. And this is what we do now through my company, Matrix AI. And look, it's practical. It's about teaching you the skills to be able to use it, the theory behind it, the mindset more than anything, but then getting you to work on things using it for your business during the day. So this is practical, it's hands-on. You leave with an action plan at the end of the day to make sure it's implemented, because we know so many training courses, you go and rah, it's fantastic, you think it's wonderful, you go home and never use it again. We make sure there's an action plan for you to use. This really is about equipping our participants with the skills, the mindset, and the action plan to get it going immediately. And look, we've had phenomenal feedback too. Look, I'm not actually lying when I say on our feedback forms we are yet to get less than a 10 out of 10, which we've been blown away about. So yeah, we run these on the Gold Coast, in Brisbane, and looking to expand them across the country.
Yeah, excellent. So if you're interested in any of this training at all, please contact me through onlinebusinessmarketing.com.au. There's a contact us form over there. Just simply put in ChatGPT and I'll connect you with Adam Bell so that we can discuss a workshop. We could look at potentially doing an online one as well. And I do obviously ChatGPT training for virtual assistants as well, Australia and internationally as well, in the Philippines. That's why I'm here. So thank you so much, Adam Bell, for sharing that with us today. It's such an underutilized tool, and I'm looking so forward to just helping more business owners with ChatGPT get better results.
Thanks so much for having me, Chantel.
Thanks for listening in. Meaningful marketing is all about you making your marketing meaningful. If you've enjoyed today's episode, please hit that subscribe button. But subscribing means that you won't miss out on future episodes all about marketing and motivation. Stay inspired, stay focused, and make your marketing meaningful.